We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs.
Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. We are going to be going through the 197 weight class rankings, the top tier, top of the line rankings here at Cactus. And today you may notice that Jack is not with us, but we got ourselves Eamon.
Special guest.
Special
I'm back.
guest. Round of applause. Oh, it's great. It's great to see you back, Eamon.
Thank you.
And without any further ado, let's get this sharing this screen here, and then kablamo.
I have a stroke already, you know it.
Why are you having a stroke? What's wrong?
I'm looking at the rankings.
What's wrong with these? What don't you like?
Do you want me to start, or do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, lead us off.
Yeah,
What are you feeling?
I think there's a reasonable placement of AJ at number 1. I understand that.
He is the only returning national champ.
Yeah.
Returning national champion, only one loss in a year and a half career, whatever it was. Really exciting wrestler. AJ has all the tools. He's got, the great athleticism. Honestly, technique is solid, but you don't look home and be like, wow, what a flashy wrestler. AJ is just a really great athlete. And
yeah.
So from that perspective, I could totally see this. I think though that anyone that wrestles, and maybe guys will agree with this, maybe they won't, that the more you get rusty quick. And AJ's return to wrestling at the Soldier Salute was not this amazing AJ that I expected to see. I honestly,
but he didn't lose until he flipped off the crowd. And
yeah. But to be fair though, I honestly thought AJ was going to bonus his way through the tournament, and that's no disrespect to.
Well, he doesn't really bonus people to begin with.
The thing is, I don't remember that. I feel like AJ had a pretty good bonus rate, I thought.
No, I don't think at Oklahoma State he really.
No,
I mean, from what I remember, I don't think he was a big bonus machine. I think he won matches, but it was never by major decision or text. It was usually a win.
All right, so AJ had a 70% bonus rate the year he got hurt when he was 10-0. His 19-1. Yep. So his 19-1 season, he had a 40% bonus rate.
That sounds more in line with what I remember.
Yeah.
So that is fair. But yeah, not and
who so I mean, yeah, we discussed this before we filmed when we came up with the rankings.
Who would I put?
Who would you rather have seen?
And that's what I mean.
Is all the fans.
I don't think that there's a reasonable person you could necessarily put and say, well, he's a head and shoulders above AJ.
Okay.
I like Stephen Buchanan a lot. I like Trey Milos. I like.
No, I disagree. I disagree with the Buchanan thing because here's the thing with Iowa. Yeah. With Iowa, it's Iowa. No disrespect to Iowa.
No, I agree.
No, total disrespect to Iowa. The fact that Buchanan's there is not a great thing for him.
Look at historically. Look at Glazier. What happened last year? I mean,
yeah, and that was my point. Is getting back to AJ as well, though. Zach Glazier did look good, and you're saying, okay, AJ had a very competitive match with a good wrestler.
Yeah,
and then Zach Glazier didn't. Yeah, and then Zach Glazier didn't do well at nationals.
But you can't really use Glazier's performance as a barometer of AJ's.
I mean, so the one match that AJ did impress me in, I think he wrestled well against Joey Novak.
Okay.
And he didn't major him, but he won 7-2 convincingly. So I was happy with that because Novak was ranked, I think 17 or something at the time. He was a top 20 guy that AJ looked good against. But yeah, when he wrestled against Glazier, I was not blown away.
Yeah, I agree. Mike, one thing I will say though is I don't know if you would agree with me, but before the start of the last season, had all these same wrestlers been here and it was the same list, I probably would have put Michael Beard at number 1. But just based on last season's performance at nationals, it's it's like it's impossible with this weight class to say there's a definitive number one, and I think that's why I agree sort of with the AJ Ferrari being one,
Yeah.
because he actually has the national title to go with it. And Beard would have been, if you go back to the 2 seasons ago and you made the rankings, I would have put him, and having the same wrestlers, I would have put him as number one. But because of just the like actual results in itself, and I know AJ hasn't wrestled in years, so we're sort of speculating, but just given the results, I think it's almost impossible not to put him number one. I don't know if you guys agree or not.
Like I said, I totally see it. The only thing is, I don't think AJ is going to make it through a full season.
He's the pride and joy of CSU Bakersfield.
And that's what I was going to say. 2 is, and I don't want to talk down in the program, but CSU Bakersfield is not Iowa. It is not Oklahoma State.
No.
I mean, I'm going to just looking at their record in the last few years. Last year, 0-12, 2023, 1-11, 2022, 2-10. The short
but now they have a big fish in a little pond.
True.
Yeah, but
true.
So that's true. Who is his practice partner?
Yeah, touche. I don't know. I don't know.
Who is someone that's going to help AJ develop and get back to that high level AJ that we saw?
I don't know.
Who's going to help drag that out of him? Because, hey, it's awesome to be, the best guy on a team. But when you're looking at your practice partner and it's Jake Andrews, who's the number 80th ranked 285, or, Braden Smelzer, who's the number 126, 184-pound wrestler, who's going to help AJ elevate?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they have an All-American a couple of years ago? I could be wrong on that. So they have
a while ago, I believe.
Yeah.
All-American was
a while ago. Yeah, so you're right. That's also a big question: is does he have the talent in the room to help him sort of elevate? Because, like Mike said, he's like sort of the one star of the show. There's no one else. And I know it's not necessarily everything, but it's still having those partners. Look at Penn State. I mean, the comment section is going to come at me, but
but you're right.
Look at Penn
so
State.
the one thing that is interesting with Buchanan is his only loss at nationals last year was when he got pinned by Brooks.
Yeah,
which was in the quarterfinals. So like, who's to say he might not have found his way further along?
True. No, that's a great point.
I'm actually going to make a case for Jacob Cardenas. So I want to see how he does at U23 Worlds. I think that Jacob Cardenas has had a really good offseason in freestyle. I think his switch to Michigan is going to help him. I'm hopeful that he's going to do well. I mean, look at how he did last year. He took 4th. He's only, he lost it to Stephen Buchanan, who, as we talked about, is a very good wrestler. I think he's right there in the mix.
Yeah, my only worry with Cardenas is that I know Michigan's not at the same level, but in terms of how Buchanan's going to
watch
Iowa.
Our Michigan preview.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, Michigan.
They don't have a lot of horses either necessarily.
Yeah, like they've gotten a lot of transfers as of late.
I mean, if they still have some of those alumni hanging around,
that's what I was saying.
Then Cardenas is in great shape because he's got national runner-ups and Hodge Trophy winners. And
that's what I mean.
That's true.
In the Cliff Keen wrestling room, they still have great guys. I mean, I'm sure Cardenas was going to train with Miles Amin. I would imagine, and
you got world medalists like
multiple-time world and Olympic medalists.
Yeah, they're all
I think those guys can help elevate him. Like I said, the biggest thing with AJ is why hasn't he wrestled more? And a lot of people say, okay, well, the opportunities weren't there, but there was the U.S. Open. There was tons of freestyle events. There are other open Division I tournaments that he could have done, not even attached to a team.
Yeah, that's a huge speculation.
He was saving it for this year.
But that's my point is is that version of AJ still there?
Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense, really.
We're going to find out at least preseason. Yeah. I feel like this is where he's got to be. Once he starts competing, and especially if he takes a loss, then he'll be taking a nosedive on the rankings. But
it makes you wonder why he didn't compete in those competitions, because in the 2020 cycle, I know, granted, different circumstances, but he was at the Olympic trials. He wrestled at the Olympic trials. So why didn't he do it?
He didn't do great, but he was there.
Yeah, he was there. He didn't do well, but I mean, he had some tough match. Anyways, the point is though that he was there. He wasn't at this one, and what was stopping him from doing it? We don't know. I mean, we
I'm-
don't know.
So
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think that, and I could be off by 1,000 miles with this. I think the old AJ is gone, and the AJ we're going to see is going to be very good. If he finishes the season, I expect him to All-American because he's just that good of an athlete.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he's the same national champion he was. And looking at it from an exercise science perspective, again, gotta love that.
it'll be interesting if you end up eating your foot on that one.
Well, yeah, and I totally could. But AJ puts out a lot of lifting videos, and I think that's awesome. I love guys that lift weights. I think it's
Yeah, yeah.
awesome. But if you've noticed, AJ always has like an arm sleeve on, a knee sleeve, a back brace, a shoulder brace. Like he's always wearing something in the videos because AJ's an ego lifter. And
Yeah, I see what
if
you're saying.
I worry that he's beating up his body too much. Funny over there? Yeah. My wife laughing at me because I'm
Not laughing at you. I'm watching video.
okay.
That's great.
So-
she's getting involved.
Yes.
Big AJ Ferrari fan over there.
Yeah. So, but again, as someone that competed at the national level and made world teams for powerlifting, it beats up your body. I could see AJ also shrinking his window because he's such a crazy lifter. And I don't want to see that bite him in the butt as well. Is that he had, a great season, and then he had an injury. He had some legal history that kind of pulled him off from wrestling. He has the rust. He has the body breaking down from, the crazy amount of lifting and the crazy lifting style that he has. I just worry that the AJ we saw in, 2021 is not the same AJ that's around anymore. And that's why in my own head, all those little pieces, I have a hard time putting him number one.
I guess my question to you guys is, realistically, do you guys think we could see someone from, say, 6 to even potentially 9 make the finals, the NCAA finals this year?
I can see 2 guys.
Who
Three
would you say?
Which two?
I'm not going to sleep on Christian Carroll. I think that he has the ability.
Really?
Yeah. And I think Michael Beard has it too.
Yeah,
he
I
hasn't
agree
put
with
together
Beard.
the season that we've seen but we've known him to be a top recruit. There was a
Yeah,
reason Penn State wanted him.
Yeah.
There was a reason he's a multiple-time All-American. I think he's a top wrestler. It's just putting together the right time, the right season at the right time.
I'm surprised by that Christian Carroll pick, though. That's a bit surprising.
Yeah.
Freshman.
As
Well,
a freshman in the finals, yeah, I think that's a bit of a stretch. But
Hey,
Yeah.
when was the last time we saw a true freshman make the finals?
Oh, here we go.
he's
Here we
not a
go.
true freshman. He's a
No, I know,
redshirt
but you know what I
freshman.
mean? But like the pieces are there. We got a former Oklahoma State wrestler, 197, freshman adjacent.
He's gonna
super
be
freak
training
athlete.
with Younger, so
Yeah.
I like Christian Carroll. My big thing with him is that I think he's a tweener. I think he's like a Braxton Amos, where he's going to be a little
Yeah.
bit too big for 97, but a little too small for 285.
mm.
And, the weight
Sure.
cut might be hard for him. And Christian Carroll missed weight when he was wrestling for David Taylor at
Yeah.
the trials.
Yeah, he did.
So, how is he going to do holding 197 all season? I don't know.
So the one guy that we skipped over that I'm very interested to see how he does moving up a weight class is Trey Munoz.
Yes, that's. I'm
I mean,
interested as
he's
well.
returning third at 84. Honestly, I mean, the year he took 6th, it was because he got injured. He lost in the semis and he injury
slipped,
defaulted
yeah.
the next 2 matches. So like, I think he would have finished higher than 6th had he not been injured. And he's a pretty dynamic wrestler out there. So like, I mean, do you think maybe he was cutting too much weight last year and that's why he's moving up? Or
I think there's an argument to be made that he could honestly be number 1
Yeah.
in the rankings for Trey Munoz. I mean, he's a legit guy. He's shown himself year after year. So out of all these people, if I
I
were
would
making-
love to see that. Like,
yeah, he's legit. I could see him being number 1 on. I would not be surprised if he won the Nationals this year.
I mean, if you're looking at the Pac-12, though, you got AJ, Munoz, and Little. All 3 of them are going to be fighting for that
Duking it out,
Pac-12
dude.
title.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, Munoz coming up to 97 made the Pac-12 a little bit harder for AJ.
Definitely,
Um,
definitely.
because I mean he's probably going to have to wrestle both Little and Munoz at least once. So
Yeah, he's kind of sleeping there at 3, but he's like a legit contender for a national title. He's no joke.
yeah, I mean everyone who's saying Buchanan should be one. I mean, there's an argument Munoz is right there in the mix because but the only thing is like I don't know if the size is like a thing. Like I don't know is he
Yeah,
did he get to like 210 and is cutting down, or is he just like weighing 200 and just shaving off a few pounds? Like
I
I
don't know
don't
if
know
you
how
guys.
much of an effect that moving up is going to have. But I mean, most guys that when they change weights, it's not that significant a difference. Like
Well,
they tend to compete at like just as high a
True,
level.
true.
and that's what they said, kind of like, with Aaron Brooks. He goes, well, how is, 3-time national champion going up to 97? How is he going to handle it? And he goes, oh, I guess pretty good.
Yeah,
I guess the
that's
most
fair.
important question is: do you guys think we will see the same Stephen Buchanan because he's at Iowa? Like, is he going to be the same?
It's
I think he'll
so
be
hard.
similar.
Yeah, but it's so hard to say with that because I know that, you guys agree with this as well. And Eamon even brought it up earlier. I think Iowa has a hard time getting that extra 1% out of these guys.
Look at
And sometimes,
Ironman.
yeah,
Look at
exactly.
Ironman, for
You
example.
see him
Yeah,
sometimes take a step back. I mean, look at
Yeah.
Real Woods, his last
yeah,
Ironman, Real
yeah.
Woods.
Real
Yeah.
Woods.
You see these guys. I mean, the Iowa way worked for so many years. Like we're gonna go hard. We're gonna work ourselves, harder than anybody else. We're gonna push, push, push. And if we see a wall, we're gonna go right through it. And, these guys like Trey, like Stephen Buchanan, have miles on their bodies. I mean, he wrestled 30 matches last year, which isn't, again, in the grand scheme of old school wrestling, is not a lot. But you got to realize that
Yeah,
these
but
guys are
now,
starting so much younger and they're doing so many more matches. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, I have youth kids that are doing 150 matches a youth season.
well, yeah, that's insane. I
Like,
mean, that's
like,
crazy.
do it, but imagine doing that for years and years and years and years, then going all through high school, years and years and years and years, all through college, years and years and years.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, we only wrestled 30 matches last year. It goes, yeah, but it's not about what he did just 1 year ago. It's all the time. And I think that Iowa breaks these guys with their style of we're just going to keep pushing.
Yeah.
And Steve Buchanan, tough wrestler. He's a wrestler. He's a tough guy. It's a tough sport. He goes, well, I'm not going to back down from this practice. I'm going to keep going hard. And it's why you see Spencer Lee have multiple ACL injuries. It's why you see, and maybe that's not the only reason, but
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, not to get too much in a tangent, but you got to wonder too if this whole NIL and the transfers has really affected the culture at Iowa as well.
oh
Because
my gosh, dude, when you saw 6 guys transfer out that they're buying 6 homegrown Iowa guys transfer out, you know
Yeah.
that the culture there is crazy at this
it's
point.
sad not to get down that rabbit hole though, because I know the comments will.
Yeah, they'll roast you.
Yeah.
So number 5, we got Rocky Elam, Missouri, 4-time All-American who's finished 6th, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I mean, if he improved every year up until this past year,
Yeah.
you would have thought he was destined for 2nd based on his performances.
Yeah.
Took a bit of a step back this year, sliding to 6th. Do you think Elam can improve upon 6th and get another top 5 finish, or you think he's going to slide even further down?
Improve, but I don't think he's going to win it all.
Yeah, that seems pretty fair.
That's
I mean,
where I
he's
put him
always
right
a
up.
solid guy. He's always,
Yeah.
not easy to be a 4-time. He's looking like he'll likely be a 5-time All-American. So
100%. I think he'll finish. I would say 3rd. I would say 3rd or 4th. I'd put him there.
That's a good.
Wow.
That's not a bad place to finish for Rocky Elam though.
No.
yeah, all right.
Um,
Now,
Here we
this
go.
is something that's near and dear to my heart.
yeah. This is a freshman. I mean, yeah, okay. He hasn't proven himself because he's 14-0 in his redshirt season. But Mike, go ahead. We got your boy here.
The one thing that I'm going to say is going to work against Josh Barr is he's not 197. He's going 197 because Carter's going 184. And I think that after this season, we see Josh Barr drop back down to 184.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think there's a very good chance for Josh to finish as an All-American. He had a great freshman year, redshirt year, going 14-0. Beat some solid guys. I think one of his bigger wins was over a Binghamton wrestler, who at the time was ranked pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, he was good. Yeah, Jacob Nolan, but then I mean Nolan
exactly
really
didn't
crashed,
finish great,
so.
but Josh Barr, has really improved this offseason. I mean, he even in a short period of time, he loses to Aiden Sinclair and then beats Aiden Sinclair in to make the U20 world team. He takes second at Worlds. His only loss was to Ibrahim Kidiev, who won Russian nationals this year, and he lost him in the finals. But he, up until then, I mean, Josh Barr, Texas Tech. He gave up 0 points through his first through up until the finals of the Worlds at 86 kilo. He's a very prolific scorer. I think he's going to do big stuff. He was a top recruit coming out of high school. Him and Rocco Welsh actually had a rivalry. Yeah. My biggest thing that I think is going to hold him back in this weight class is not his skill, but his size.
He's
small. So,
but he'll still make the podium, I think.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Is I think that just based on his wrestling ability, he'll go far. But there are going to be times you're like, oh, he looks small here. And a guy like AJ Ferrari, who is every bit of 197, is going to dwarf him.
Right. That makes sense.
But I think he's someone that 6 seems very reasonable for him. I think Penn State, the coaching staff believes him to be a good All-American. There's a reason that they're going with him over one of the Mirasola brothers.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably also redshirting the Mirasola brothers. So
true. Yeah. That's true.
So
I'd say 7.
Josh Barr to do it. 7.
I'd say 7 for him. I think 6 is too high. I mean, even 7. I think he'll find his way to the podium, but I don't think it'll be high finish necessarily because the other guys above him, it's a toss up. I mean, even Little and Beard could be the ones that take him out, and then he's not even on the podium. So it's
you got returning All-Americans, Little and Beard, who are I think they're both destined to repeat as All-Americans again. I'd be kind of surprised if neither of them did.
And Beard is a full size 97.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it's tough, but I do think Barr has a talent, no doubt. And look at what Penn State does. You can't deny their success is just unmatched. It's just there's nothing.
I see him finishing anywhere from 5th to 8th, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him, just like Eamon said, like Rocky, Josh, Steven, Michael. I feel like a lot of them are interchangeable where they fall into that line.
So some of you may think that we are Minnesota haters because this guy that was returning 6th and we got him slotted here at 10. But hey, we here at Cactus Wrestling, we fly by our own rules here.
Equal opportunity haters.
The equal opportunity haters, and we were really not feeling Salazar preseason despite his returning 6th place finish. We thought that Barr, Little, Beard, Carroll, we all thought if it was a head-to-head matchup, we thought Salazar would not win. So that is why we slotted him there at 10.
The Big 10 is going to be interesting this year when you have,
you look at all these guys. Most of these guys are Big 10.
Yeah. So, it'll sort itself out one way or the next.
Yeah. Zach Glazier, familiar name, new school. How do we think he'll do? I mean, we got him ranked at 12. 11.
I was so hoping he was in the Pac. We're going to transfer to a Pac-12 school. I want him to be like AJ Ferrari. I'm coming for you.
That'd be funny.
I'm not sure about Glazier. It's such a hit or miss. Going to South Dakota State.
He was the only reason Iowa had a finalist at Big Tens.
Yeah.
He kept that streak alive for Iowa.
That's
true.
Then
they said, F you, leave. Rounding out our ranked guys, we got John Poznanski, former All-American from a few years ago. Can he get back to form? I mean, maybe. He's right on the cusp there, round 16, round 12. I feel like ever since that first season, he has not quite been able to put together. I mean, I know there's been some injuries, but still, he hasn't quite put together.
I would say on that list, not to get too far down, but out of Glazier, Poznanski, Bronigal, I would say Bronical's the one that sticks out to me. That could be the one that separates himself out of those 3. I know that's controversial, very controversial.
Interesting.
But
I mean, if you're looking at Flow, Internet, and WrestleStat, they all have him ranked top 10. So we did not give Bronigal as much respect because Illinois as a program tends to do.
You're not wrong there.
I mean, Bronigal is him and his brothers
second
are
most
always
losses
tough.
on this list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's
he
also
does.
got over 20 wins.
Yeah.
You never know with Bronigal. You're in for a war.
Yeah, that guy's tough. That guy's really tough.
He always is ready to scrap, which we love to see. You got Luke Geog, Ohio
Yeah.
State national qualifier. Wyatt Volkner, round of 16 for you and I. And then, this guy
Here we go.
we threw in here, Camden McDaniel,
Mike.
freshman, ranked
Mike.
138 on WrestleStat. He
Soon to be 137.
soon to be 137. With the recent news of Silas Allred going down to 84, Pinto going down to 74.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's his face is going to 65.
Bubba Wilson.
Yeah, Bubba
going
Wilson to 65, and
Antrell Taylor, 57.
Antrell Taylor to 57. Like everyone's shifting down, and then Camden McDaniel would slot in for 197. So that's why we don't see Silas Allred on this list. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure we would have Silas Allred in the top 10.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show. I think Mike Long is right. I think this is going to bite Nebraska in the butt because some of those guys going down in weight is just like Antrell, for example.
I think for 57 Antrell, that'll be good for him.
You think so?
It might be too much weight for him.
I think it's too much.
I think it'll be good for him. I think it'll be good for Antrell Taylor for sure.
We'll see.
Pinto, I don't think so.
Yeah, Pinto.
Allred, if he can cut 13 pounds, then he probably wasn't like a big 97.
So
True.
they've said that he wasn't a big 97. I've heard reports that he was able to make 84. It really, I think Lenny Pinto is the biggest, like,
yeah, agreed.
kind of like hinge in all this is like, I just don't see him making 74. And if he does make it, I got to be honest, I don't see him doing that great.
It's just too much. Where's the 10 pounds coming from?
He's so big, and he's such a you look at him, and you go, "Oh, he's a 97," and you go, "What? He's an 84?"
Yeah,
74 now, baby.
I mean. He's got to be given like bone marrow or blood or something before matches to get his weight down.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on in Nebraska, but
hey, on
regardless,
paper, they look great. If their lineup hits exactly like they expect them to hit, really competitive team.
Do you want to see it? Nebraska preview? We could do it.
Let us know if you want to do a Nebraska preview.
But yeah, Camden McDaniel at 197. We got him in as honorable mention. He could be making some noise as a freshman for sure. He's got some accolades that.
Hey, previous world bronze medalist. You two-time U.S. Open champion. Again, freestyle, not always folk style, but it's something's got to be said for him where the lineup kind of shifts around him, trying to get him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
it really does help Nebraska as a team and in a team trophy race as well. So it's definitely interesting to see. So there you have it. 197. What are your thoughts? Let us know. Where did we get it right? Where did we get it wrong? Is AJ the true number one, or do you think someone else should be there? We know Mike doesn't think he should be there, but
I gave reasonable reasons though. I wasn't just like, hey, F this guy, I hate him.
AJ, make a comment for us, please.
Yeah. Come on in and let us know.
AJ has a YouTube channel. He put out his 35-minute documentary of his day.
I was gonna send that. Yeah, he did put that out.
Where he talks to Carter in the back. If you guys haven't watched it, it's very funny.
Yeah,
unintentionally. He does a whole thing where he's talking to the camera, pretending they're Carter Starachi.
Yeah.
And he's like an infant sitting in the back seat, but it's a weird point of view. It makes no sense. It's funny, but I don't think he intended to be funny.
Yeah, he was being serious about it, but I don't know.
I would watch a 24-hour stream of AJ's life.
The Truman Show, except for it's the Ferrari show.
I would watch that religiously.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, let us know in the comments down below. Would you watch the AJ show? Should he start this? And how do you feel about our rankings? And as always, thank you for Eamon joining us. And
thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, Eamon.
Thank you for watching Cactus Wrestling. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will be hitting you with the next ranking video very soon.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.